setting up a standard toss and fetch field, and the dimensions can be found on Skyhounds. It's the same field. I'm going to show you the quick way to do this with minimal measurements, and it should take you about 10 to 15 minutes. You need 2 measuring tapes. They should be at least 150 feet because you need to measure 50 yards. So I think these are 200 feet long measuring tapes. You need 6 stakes and you need 14 cones. This, you're making it square, so this is your diagonal. The hypotenuse of the triangle is the diagonal. And it should hit at 153 feet. 180. Okay, and now you're making your other end line, end zone. Oops. Gotta go around that tree.
We can just pretend.
Yep.
What's that at? 210?
Yep. So it is 10 yards at one end, 50 yards on the long end, and this is 10 yards.
Okay.
The reason why those numbers are because I just started at 0, 10 yards, and I didn't stop and go. I just kept measuring. So that's 30 feet plus 150 feet. That should be about 180.
Yep.
Plus another 30 feet should be 210.
Okay. And it is.
Yep. It's just converting feet to yards.
Yeah.
It should be at 150. I'm going to move this so that it is.
50 down and 210 across. Yep, right there.
So once you get the field measured out and the four corners staked, now you need to measure every 10 yards along the sidelines. And the way I do it is I take my cone and I drop one at the first corner. It's best if you have them on the inside of the tape, and you'll see why. And then you drop them every 10 yards or 30 feet. Look at your 4 zones every 10 yards. You'll have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 yards. And you do the same for the other side. You're going to make the widest part of the field, and I use yellow cones to mark that. So you're going to come up to exactly the halfway up the field. All right. So this is the halfway point. This is 5 yards from each cone, and that's the halfway up the field. This is going to be 25 yards where it's the widest. All right, and you pick it up and you can measure 5 yards, but if you do, I've measured my pace, and five paces outward is going to be your ideal measurement. Just step off a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you stake it here. You mark it, and now you line up, you use the tape measure to line up the cones with the original cones that were set every 10 yards.
So this one here.
Yep, and we'll do this on this side.
This one here. And that's it. So to summarize, you want to measure your rectangle, and the important part for measurement purposes is making sure that your corners are square. And you can do the 3, 4, 5 right triangle rule on each corner to square it, or you can do the quick shortcut version and make a giant 90-degree triangle. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. C squared is your hypotenuse, so that's your diagonal. So we measured 10 yards by 50 yards, and then the diagonal is the hypotenuse, so it's about 53 yards. And once we've done that, we measured every 10 yards on both of the sidelines. Once that is complete, you find the halfway point, the 25-yard mark on each sideline, and that's where you blow it out to make your hexagon. And I've marked that with the yellow marker. I use the tape measure as a diagonal, and you'll bring your cones from the 10-yard lines on the rectangle over to the line on your newly constructed hexagon.